Today we're talking with John Black. He's writer-director of the film Lustig. John, welcome.
Thank you.
We've all seen the film. Why were you attracted to this project? What about this project was so interesting that you had to write this?
When I was writing it, I realized that the film was about courage. And the main focus there is courage innate? Is it running through your blood system, your bloodstream? Or is it something that is learned? And my conclusion was, I think it's both. Like, I try to put myself in the hero's footsteps, in his shoes, and would I have the courage to do that? And I've never been tested, and I don't know if I would.
This particular project, I think the story was the key, the way it was written, and just knowing that JB and I would work well together and wanted to produce something that was meaningful.
I didn't want to make the film horrific, because when you do that, people tend not to show things like that to children. I don't know if I would, my daughter's 5, I don't know if I would show it to her, I don't know if she would get it. 10-year-old, 11-year-old would get it, they would see it. When we did the screening for the cast and crew, we invited some of the Holocaust survivors that are in our community here in Richmond. And I sat there with my wife and my family and all of our friends and watched it, and it was packed. It was a great feeling to have all those people there to see your work. And I turned to my wife after we honored 2 of the Holocaust survivors, and I said to her, I said, I really only care about 2 people in this audience, the people that lived that. And I'm nervous to see what they would say after the film.
We had quite a few people come in and thank us and said the movie was beautiful. And when Mrs. Burdecki came down, who's a Holocaust survivor, mentioned that she was deeply moved, that was pretty much good for us. We were happy with that. And
Confirmation you hit the mark.
That we hit the mark, and that alone is, that's all we needed, really. Anything else that comes from it is a bonus.
And she came up to me afterwards. We did a little Q&A afterwards, and she came up to me afterwards and she said, you got it right, kid. And I was taken back by that. When we shot the scene with Jeff, that I didn't want to ever see the weapon. In a lot of films, the weapon becomes a character, and that's not what this was about. The weapon was the mind, the power of, you can't control me. No matter how you try, even when you have a weapon, you can't do that.
JB spoke to me about not seeing the gun in the film, and I, just being a producer wanting to cover all ends, I basically said, "Are you sure?" Just to cover yourself, you want to have that in there, and you might need to use it. And he basically made the decision right away, because he knew what he wanted, and he said no. He said, if I put it in there, I'll use it, and I know myself, and that's what you need to be as a director. So he pretty much axed it right off the beginning, and I think it was the greatest choice.
He fought back with his mind. When you're in that situation where you're unarmed, you don't have the technology to overthrow the government at that time, or the people that were, imprisoning you. How do you win? I think he really thought in that split second that, I'm going to use it now. I'm going to use my weapon now. And the only thing he had to use was his mind, and he used it really well. It meant the world to me that you guys showed up for the film, and
there was a great film, very well done.
I can only imagine being in your shoes, what that was like. I mean,
I want to tell you, it's not a story. We were lined up as the prisoners, and some prisoners usually pick up cigarette butts where the guards throw it away, and it was against the rules to smoke. And a Polish guy next to me did that, and they see the sparks, so he threw it on the ground, and he stepped on it. So the guard walked up to me, asked me who was smoking. And I don't know what got into me. I said, I don't know. Knocked me off and knocked me down, knocked me up, beating me up. Who was smoking? I never told. I don't know where I got that strength. He beat the heck out of me, and I never said that. I grew up with the solidarity not to tell on anybody. So if he killed me, I would never tell him who was smoking.
Wow.
I don't know if I had enough strength to do it now. I mean,
Of course.
if I see you smoking, I tell it.
Exactly.
I went home and I was thinking about it because it's true. I saw things like that. And I was a little kid. But when I went to sleep, I woke up every hour. I couldn't sleep because it's the truth. See, I remember things. I cannot, even if I want to, I couldn't forget. I don't want to forget those things. But it was done so, like it would happen this minute, what I saw it. When I was sitting there, I said to myself, my God, that would happen the same minute. It was done beautiful.
Steve. Heißen Sie Lustig?